Hey, it's me, Clestar, and this is everything that triggers a Zombies player, Black Ops 2 Edition. And yes, this is the series where I go through each Call of Duty Trek Zombies game and I say everything that triggers a Zombies player the most about each of those games. 2 weeks ago, we did World at War, last week we did Black Ops 1, and now we are doing Black Ops 2. If you want to watch the other two, they're in the link in the description below. And you know, I was really impressed with you guys last week when you passed my like and dislike goal, so you know what? I'm gonna ramp it up a bit. We're gonna go for 350 likes and 12 dislikes. Can we do it? I don't know, it's up to you guys. And then lastly, something I've always gotta say before I do any of these videos is that this is just made for fun and this isn't any kind of hate against this game in any way or form. Not all opinions I share are truly accurate to how I feel. I'm trying to make this more of a general thing for all Zombies players. But anyways, let's get into this! Transit is such a giant map and everything's so spread out. The perks are all in completely different areas and there's hardly any options for wall weapons. Heck, there's not even one wall weapon by at the town. The bus is the main mode of transportation, and this bus is supposed to take on a big grand adventure around the map of Transit. But it seems like this bus driver has his own agenda, doesn't even care about you. When you want to leave, he just stays forever and ever, and when you want him to stay, he leaves you. They really couldn't make it so you can control when the bus goes? They could have just had a button at each bus stop and just press the button for the bus to come to you, or you could go in the bus and press a button for it to go. It's not that hard to implement. But you know, if you don't want to use the bus, you can just travel on foot. But you gotta go through the fog, which you can barely see in. So it's really easy to get lost in here. And also, there's these things called the denizens that just scratch your face off. And they just keep spawning infinitely, so then once one comes and you kill it, another one comes and another one comes, and they give you no reward at all, except for making your game less fun to play. If you travel on foot, you'll make it to the diner. Congratulations. But you can't go any farther without the bus, because if you try to go on, there's a huge patch of lava that you won't be able to survive unless you have jug or stamina. So you have no choice but to wait for the bus. If you travel to the power on foot and the bus beats you there, you can't get past the bus because the bus blocked you from going to the power. So you either should have been on the bus in the first place or you have to wait for the bus to leave. Why is this power room so bright? One of the new gimmicks with Black Ops 2 is that you can build things. So just get a couple parts, put them on a table, and you got your buildable. But you have to build the power, you have to build the pack-a-punch. Why? What's even the point? And worst of all with these buildables, you can only hold one part at a time on Transit. So that means you have to get a part, put it on the table, go back and get another part, put it on the table, then go back and get another part, and put it on the table. It's just a complete waste of time. And it took them until Mob of the Dead to get this right. Not only can you only hold one part at a time, once you actually build a buildable, you can only have one of those buildables at a time, so you can't have the turbine and the shield at the same time. When you turn on the power, this Electro Man, also known as the Avogadro, spawns, and his only purpose in the game is just to make the game more annoying. The new special weapon of this map is the jet gun. But it's a buildable, and you know what that means. You have to get each part one at a time. And all these parts are scattered around the whole entire map. And there's 4 parts. You have to dedicate at least 10 to 20 minutes just to build this thing. But maybe it'll all be worth it and this is the best weapon of all time. And I mean, that's not necessarily wrong. It does have infinite damage and infinite ammo. But this thing's very impractical to use, because you kill the zombies very slow with it. And if you use it too much at once, it breaks. And if it breaks, you can't get it back from the buildable table, you can't get it back from the box, you have to build it again. And this thing is so easy to break too. Pack-a-punching on this map is such a pain. You have to go to the power, drop your turbine, and just hope that no zombies attack it. Then you have to go all the way to the town, and the pack-a-punch might be open. And if it's not open, you have to get a new turbine from the spawn, then go all the way back to the power and do the same thing. And if you leave the pack-a-punch room, it's likely gonna close. So you have to do the whole thing again if you want to pack-a-punch again. Whenever a zombie catches on fire and you kill it, it explodes. And this explosion can stun you and damage you. I can't tell you how many times I've died because of these explosions. If only there was a perk to prevent explosive damage. EMPs have very little use. If you use it on the zombies, they'll stop. But if you just run or shoot one of your bullets, they start running at you again. And what's even the point? And if you throw it in your perk machine, they deactivate that perk. That means for a limited amount of time, you can't buy the perk. And if you have the perk, the icon will fade away, which means that the perk won't work. And if it's thrown at the mystery box, when it's open, it'll just close the mystery box. On Nuketown, perks will only spawn after you kill a certain amount of zombies, and the perk is random. It'll either be Jug, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, Double Tap, or Pack-a-Punch. And they spawn in random locations too. This means that when you play Nuketown, there's a chance that you might not get Jug until about round 20. I actually like the idea of having random perks in random places, but not when they spawn in at different times in the game. Maybe make it so that the last perk will spawn in on round 10 at the latest. How come the M27 is only on Nuketown? a fan favorite weapon only on one map and Nuketown is the one map it's on? They could have easily put this in other maps too. Once you get to about round 16, there'll be a few zombies that are spawned on the map that walk really slow to try to ruin your train. And when the round's almost over, they take forever to get to you. The SMR is actually a great weapon in multiplayer, but of course in zombies, they had to make it really bad. Because just like the Springfield from World at War, the aim doesn't work. So you aim perfectly for a zombie and the bullet doesn't even hit them. The War Machine is also a great weapon in multiplayer, which you can achieve through score streaks. And the reason for this is because the grenades explode on impact, but in zombies, all the grenades are frags. So you shoot it and a couple seconds later, the grenade will explode. And you have to pack a punch it just for it to be decent. I like the idea of grief, but the rounds take so long. And sometimes the games will never end. Because if a whole team goes down, you have to survive the whole rest of the round, and if your team goes down, then everyone gets another chance. The game will be going on forever and ever and ever. On Die Rise, there's a bunch of little elevators that contain either a perk or pack-a-punch, and when you turn the power, they'll cycle through all the different floors. Except you have no control of when they go to the next floor. It's just on its own time cycle. So if you want to get a perk, pack-a-punch, or you want to go to another level, you have to wait for the elevator to get to your level. You can get a key for an elevator to come on your level, but you only get to use it once. And to get out of this bottom area, you have no choice but to use elevators. It's your only way to get out of here. So if you go down in this map, good luck getting your perks back. Because if you go over to the elevators, there's no guarantee that the perks will be at the level you're on. So right here on the ceiling is a very common place for the box to spawn. If you get a teddy bear, there's a good chance that the box will spawn over here. So good, it's a very close location, it's not that far away, life is pretty good. Except how do you get over here? It really isn't that simple. To go from here to over here, which is just so close, you have to go all the way down to the booter room, jump to the other tower, wait for the elevators to go all the way up the map, jump back to this tower, wait for another elevator to go up, come down here, and you're finally there. The bank is such a cheap way to play zombies. You can basically just hoard up a bunch of points, put them in the bank, then next time you play, you have as many points as you ever need. So you can get your whole setup by round 1. Now anyone can get to a high round. But at the same time, these maps are so tedious that using the bank is the only way to have fun. You have to jump down a lot in this game. And if you don't jump down on one of these mattresses, there's a very good chance you'll die. If only there was a perk that prevented you from taking fall damage. Oh wait, that actually is on this map, but you can't access it. You see, when you go down this elevator, there's PhD right here just teased at you, but you can't get it. Such a dirty troll. This liquefier is great and all, but on a map where you really need to be careful about where you step, this liquefier makes the ground really slippery, which means you can slip off the edge. The new perk in this map is Who's Who, and what it does is when you go down, you respawn with nothing but a pistol, and if you revive yourself, you gotta keep all your perks. But keep this in mind, if you die with your clone, your game is over, even if you had quick revive before you downed. And sometimes, your clone will be spawned in such a place that you have no chance at all. They could have easily just made it so that if you had quick revive when you went down, if your clone died, you just respawn without all your perks. If you have quick revive and you fall off the map, it'll place you all the way back at the spawn room no matter where you fell off. On Mob of the Dead, Bruce can disable workbenches and mystery box for 2,000 points, and each time he disables them, they cost more and more. The new gimmick with Mob of the Dead was Afterlife, and you can use this Afterlife to become a ghost and do anything you need to do as a ghost. But you have to actually revive yourself or else you could die. If someone goes into Afterlife on co-op, teammates can revive them. And this is fine if you're playing with trustworthy teammates, but if you aren't playing with trustworthy teammates, it's way too easy to troll. You could be trying to get the Warden's Key or even Jug, but then someone just decides to take you out of Afterlife. So Afterlife replaced Quick Revive in this map, so if you go down, you've got Afterlife. Except the Afterlife replenishes every single round. So each round you get an additional life, which is way too OP. As I said earlier in this video, Mob of the Dead is a map that fixed only being able to hold one buildable part at a time. So now you can hold all the parts at once, to only need to go to the buildable table one time to build it. And same with the plane too. On solo. On co-op, you can only hold one plane part at a time. So if you're playing 2-player, you have to go back and forth just to put things on the plane. Come on, Treyarch. I thought you fixed this. There is still no PhD flopper. But look over here, there's the machine. And there's Mule Kick too, but who cares about Mule Kick? But PhD flopper is right there, and we still can't use it. The Paralyzer on Buried is objectively very good, but it's so boring to use. All you do is sit in a corner, and it kills the zombies very slow. So if I ever want to have a fun time on Buried, I just don't use a Paralyzer. Why can't you have the monkey bombs and the time bombs at the same time? They take up two completely different parts of the inventory. On this map, you get this giant guy to assist you, and if you give him booze, he can break down these barriers. And if you give him candy, he can do a bunch of things for you, like building the buildables, or permanently keeping the box in one area. But if you shoot him, he goes back to his cage and locks himself up. And sometimes, you have to look all around the map just to find the key. It really feels like Treyarch holds your hand in this map. You get the Paralyzer, which you can just camp in the corner with. You get the Subsurface Resonator and the Turbine, which means you can do nothing in the game and you can just kill a bunch of zombies. And Leroy can just build these for you. And you get the Time Bomb. So if you're down, just go back in time as if it never happened. And there's the bank. I don't like to complain about a map being too easy, but this makes it so that anyone can make it to a high round and there's no skill at all. I probably shouldn't be griping about this because of how easy this map is, but the witches take 2,000 points from you when they hit you. So if you're trying to save up for Pack-a-Punch, well, now your points are gone. If you put any kind of damage into a zombie at the end of the round, they just die out when you run away from them. So if you want to get anything done at the end of the round, you have to make sure you don't put any damage into the zombie. And this also means you can't make a crawler without it dying out. So now you just have a zombie sprinting behind you the whole entire time. It makes things harder, but in such an unnecessary way. The new zombie boss in Origins is the Panzer. And this is the big guy who has a flamethrower and a claw. But if he gets you with that claw and you don't have a strong enough weapon, you have no chance. You either have to get very lucky with the box and get something like a regular Mark II, or you have to be very efficient with your points to make sure you get Pack-a-Punch before round 8. There's this giant robot in Origins that if he steps on you, you just die. The mud in this map slows you down so much. Yes! There is finally PhD Flopper! They finally listened to us! But this is the one map in this game that's least necessary in. They replaced the M1911 with the Mauser. The Pack-a-Punch for the Mauser is completely different, and it does no explosive damage, so it's not even necessary in this map. I personally think the Mauser is better than the M1911, but I just wanted to use the Mustang and Sally's with PhD Flopper. Was that too much to ask? What, do you think it's too OP to have Mustang and Sally's and PhD Flopper? Is that the reason why we can't have those two in the same map? It's only good to about round 30. I don't want to use it because it's good, I want to use it because it's fun. So if that's the case, what? Is the Slickofire not too OP, but this is too OP? Is the Paralyzer not too OP, but this is too OP? Are the staffs on Origins not too OP, but this is too OP? I'm not completely sure if that's the reason, but if it is, this video is over. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and just remember, this is not meant to be taken seriously, this video was just made for fun, and not all opinions shared in this video are truly accurate to my thoughts and feelings. And I know for sure that I probably missed some things in this video that triggers a zombies player, so comment in the comment section below what are some other things I didn't mention that triggers you as a zombies player. And remember, we're going for 350 likes and 12 dislikes, and if we can do that, then that will be well appreciated. But if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, just subscribe to my channel. What are you waiting for? It's not like you have to pay money to subscribe to my channel, so just subscribe to my channel. And guys, you're not a true fan of Claystar. You're not a real one unless you follow me on Twitter at @TheClaystar. So go ahead, follow me on Twitter at @TheClaystar if you want to truly be a real one. And then follow me on Twitch at Claystar, Claystar with 2 R's. I haven't streamed there in a while, but I will stream this weekend if Super Mario Party comes in the mail. If not, then I guess I'm not going to be streaming on Twitch this weekend, but I will stream Super Mario Party on Twitch at some point. And then lastly, put those notifications on if you want to be the first person at my video. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not okay to be the first person at a video, because I appreciate you if you're the first person at my video. So with that, I'll see you in the next video!